the people with the biggest impact are often the ones you've never heard of. They're not on social media flexing their wins. They're not building personal brands. They're not chasing clout or recognition. And here's what most people don't realize. That's not a sacrifice. That's the entire secret. You've probably heard the narrative. You've got to build your personal brand. You've got to be visible. You've got to establish yourself as an authority. Get your name out there. Be somebody. But I'm going to tell you something that contradicts everything the algorithm wants you to believe. The moment you release the need to be somebody, everything changes. Let me explain what I mean, because this isn't about giving up. It's not about hiding your light under a bushel or becoming invisible. It's about something much more powerful, something the ancient Taoist masters understood that we've completely forgotten. Here's the problem with the modern obsession with being somebody. Every moment you spend protecting your image, you're not actually working. Every second you're thinking about how you'll be perceived, you're divided. Your attention is split between the task and the audience, between what you're doing and who you're trying to impress. That split is like driving with one foot on the gas and one on the brake. You're constantly losing power. Think about it for a second. When was the last time you did your best work? Was your head full of worrying about recognition? Or were you completely absorbed, completely focused? So present that the outside world didn't even exist. Most people never get there because they're too busy managing their image to actually manage their craft. But that's not even the real problem. Here's what's actually happening. The need to be somebody is an ego mechanism, and ego is expensive. It requires constant maintenance. You have to defend it. You have to feed it with validation. You have to compare yourself to others to prove you're worth something. Every single day, your nervous system is in a state of low-level threat because your identity depends on external approval. Do you understand what that does to your nervous system, to your creativity, to your actual performance? You're essentially running a business inside your mind where the product is your identity and the customers are everyone who sees you. The overhead is enormous, the return on investment is terrible, and the exhaustion is real. Now here's where this gets interesting. Let me reveal something most people spend their entire lives missing. The ancient Taoists called it Wu Wei, effortless action. And I want to be precise about what that actually means, because most people completely misunderstand it. Wu Wei doesn't mean you don't try. It means you're not divided. You're not simultaneously acting and observing yourself act. You're not performing. You're just doing. When you release the need to be somebody, something remarkable happens. Your energy consolidates. Instead of being split between the task and your image, it goes entirely into the task. The water stops fighting the stones and flows around them. The action becomes efficient, powerful, natural. But there's something even deeper happening that most people miss. When you stop needing recognition, you actually become more influential. I know that sounds backwards. Stay with me. People are drawn to authenticity. They're magnetically attracted to people who aren't performing, who aren't desperate for approval, who are just genuinely competent and at peace. Think about the people you most respect. Are they the ones constantly talking about how great they are? Or are they the ones who are so secure in themselves that they don't need to say anything? The paradox is this: the path to real influence is to stop needing influence. the path to genuine success is to stop measuring it by external metrics. The path to becoming somebody people want to listen to is to stop trying to be somebody. This is what the Taoist masters called Te. It's often translated as virtue, but that misses it completely. Te is the power that comes from being perfectly aligned with what you actually are, not what you're trying to become, not who you're performing to be, what you actually are. When your actions come from Te, from that alignment, they carry a different quality. People feel it, they respond to it, not because you're trying to impress them, but because the work itself is solid. It's real. It's not diluted by ego. Here's what I've found after studying this for decades and watching high performers operate. The people doing the most impactful work are almost always the ones least attached to being recognized for it. The CEOs who actually transform companies aren't usually the ones with the biggest social media following. The artists creating meaningful work aren't performing for the algorithm. The scientists making breakthroughs aren't worried about clout. They're focused on one thing: the work itself, the craft, the problem they're solving, the impact they're creating. And here's the thing that will change how you operate if you let it. The moment you make that shift, the moment your focus moves from "how will I be perceived" to "what needs to happen here," your performance goes up. Your creativity expands. Your decisions get clearer. Your voice becomes more powerful because it's no longer filtered through the anxiety of judgment. Notice something right now. Feel the difference in your body between these two things. First, imagine yourself performing for an audience. Imagine their eyes on you. Imagine needing to impress them. Now imagine yourself completely absorbed in work you care about. Nobody watching, just you and the task. Feel that? That's the difference between being divided and being whole. Between being somebody and being nobody. Now the practical part. This is an abstract philosophy. Releasing the need to be somebody is a practice. It's something you do. And it starts with noticing. Notice when you're performing instead of working. Notice when you're thinking about how you'll be perceived instead of thinking about the actual task. Notice when you're defending your image instead of building something real. That noticing is the beginning, because you can't change what you don't see. The second layer is this: make decisions based on the work, not on how it will look. Pursue projects that matter to you, not ones that will impress people. Build skills that serve the craft, not ones that make good Instagram content. Choose growth over visibility. This is counterintuitive, and it will feel scary at first. Your ego will tell you that nobody cares if you don't tell them. And you know what? Your ego is probably right. For a little while, fewer people will notice. But here's what actually happens. The people who do notice for the right reason. They notice because the work is solid, because you're genuinely good, because you've spent all that energy you used to waste on image management and actually gotten better at what you do. The third layer, and this is where the real power comes, is this. When you're not worried about being somebody, you're free to become something. You're free to experiment without the fear that failure will damage your image. You're free to take risks because there's nothing to protect. You're free to evolve because you're not locked into a fixed identity that you have to defend. The Taoist masters had a term for this too. Pu. It means the uncarved block, the potential that exists before you've been shaped by the world's expectations. When you release the need to be somebody, you return to that state. Not as regression, but as liberation. You become capable of anything because you're not invested in being a particular thing. Here's what changes when you actually embody this. Your stress drops, you sleep better. You're not running that exhausting mental loop of self-judgment and comparison. Your creativity expands because your mind isn't consumed with image management. Your relationships improve because people feel that you're genuinely present with them, not performing. And yes, counterintuitively, your actual impact and influence grow. Because when you're not desperate for validation, people trust you more. When you're focused on excellence rather than visibility, your work gets better. When you're aligned with what you actually are, rather than what you think you should be, people are drawn to that authenticity. The ancient masters understood something we've spent centuries forgetting. Being nobody isn't a loss. It's a liberation. It's the release of a burden you didn't even know you were carrying. So here's my question for you. What would change if you stopped needing to be somebody? Not as escape, not as hiding, but as a genuine realignment. As choosing to pour your energy into the work instead of the image, into excellence instead of perception, into what you actually are instead of what you're trying to appear to be. Because the secret the most successful people have discovered is this: the joy you're chasing through recognition, the peace you're seeking through status, the fulfillment you're hunting through visibility, it's not actually there. It was always here, in the work itself, in the genuine expression of your capability, in the freedom of having nothing to prove. You don't need to be somebody to matter. You just need to be real. If this helped, hit like, subscribe, and keep it simple. See you tomorrow.